Hey guys, welcome to my shop. It's been over a year of construction. Mostly my fault that that's happened. But we're here, I'm inside of it. I'm able to work pretty well. Before we go to a tour, let's check out what's been happening over the last few weeks. Their sidewall, and she just shot the last wall screw.
Safety word is pineapple juice.
Okay, so what you can hopefully see from that video was that this thing was not built just by me. It has been a massive team effort, and I am so thankful to the people that have helped me. Number one, my wife Christine, she's been out here almost every day with me, doing just everything from shooting screws, cutting panels, erecting entire arches, shooting beams, riding the scissor lift. Christine has been amazing, and I'm so thankful to have her. The two Bryans helped out. We had Spoov, we had Wyatt, the other member of this channel. It's been a huge team effort. There's been lots of people involved, and I'm so thankful to have friends like that care. I love you guys. That is so awesome. After that mushy stuff is out of the way, I have a shop. I'm very excited. This is a 30-foot by 40-foot steel building by Mueller. Mueller is at least local to Dallas. I'm not sure if they're nationwide, but it's a company that makes these steel shops, steel buildings. Everything in here was put up without the help of heavy machinery. The only thing that we did not do ourselves was the slab. Concrete work is really difficult, so we had the slab done professionally, and then we used a variety of tools and winches and scaffolding and just brute strength sometimes to put all of this up. So like I said, it's a 30-foot by 40-foot shop. It's 30 foot in what we'll call this depth, and then 40 foot on the long side. As you can see, I'll get in the corner here, you can see we have one bay door and two bay doors. So we got two bay doors, one man door, maybe over my shoulder. I had to do a custom building to get the two doors like that because the way the building came, it only had one door, and it was on the end of the building, and I knew that I wanted to be able to drive straight in to bays instead of having to do like a complicated path to get into the lift. So I did a custom building, two 10 by 10 doors and one man door. I had a couple people say that I should go for a taller or wider door. I'm never gonna have an RV, I'm never gonna have a camper, we're not that kind of person, we're not that kind of family, so I'm very happy with a 10 by 10 opening. We're gonna put doors on eventually, they're gonna be nice roll-up doors. But for now, it is kind of, an open-air, breezy experience, which so far has been fine. And I might mention that the building is not totally done yet. It's closer than I've ever been. Obviously, we have a roof. That's what you just saw going on. There's a few trim pieces to do. There's a few things like doors, man doors, roll-up doors need to be done. But for the most part, we have a roof and we have walls, and we have lift. We'll get to the lift in a minute, but we have things in here to work with. So it's right now, this is probably gonna be where it stays for a little bit until I have time and opportunity to put trim pieces on, put doors in, put wiring in. Oh, it's not wired yet. We don't have any electricity. So it's a good thing we don't have doors because that lets in all the light that we have. Eventually we'll put in a bunch of LED tubes up top so we have good light. I do not want this to be just a storage shed. This is going to be a working shop. We're going to do stuff in here. We're going to have lights. Lights just make the biggest difference as far as working shops. So we'll get there when we run power. I have plans for power. It'll just be some time before we get there. But anyways, let's see if I can turn this around. Okay, so I got a scaffolding in the corner. So this bay right here, this is hopefully going to be the easy access in and out bay. So if we got to park a car in here or bring something in and out, this is going to be open-ish. Back there, instead of a scaffolding, we're likely going to put in like a pallet rack so we can have storage there. Maybe do a pallet rack in there and incorporate a workbench. So the second bay, this middle bay, which is currently the ping pong bay, because table tennis is the best sport in the history of mankind. Fight me. The table tennis bay is probably going to be like the fabrication station. So I'll put in some fab tables here, maybe welder or whatever little fab stuff that we can do. But this is not going to be vehicle area here. So we'll have vehicle area there, vehicle area there. But in the middle, because we don't have a door, no door, that's going to be workstations, fab stations, and so on. Lastly, the third bay is the lift bay. You can see I made it a point. Wow, it's got bright outside. Thanks, Texas. Well, you can't see inside. So I made it a point to be able to drive directly in and get directly onto the lift. I did not want to have to snake around things when pushing a dead car in or bringing in a project car or bringing something in to work on. I wanted to be able to drive directly into the lift, and that's what we did. As you can see, I'll walk around real quick, and we've got a very straight shot. So we have, oh, it's not happy about the exposure. So we have, lift and car here, straight to outside there. And that's our 3 bays. It's nothing super fancy. It's not the biggest shop ever. See if that gives you an idea of the size of it. Oh, ping pong balls. Plenty of room for 2 to 3 cars. I can stack on the lift if I need to. I can put a car underneath, a car on a lift. But lots of room. It's more room than I've ever had. And I'm very excited about it. While we're here, some people have been asking about the erection of the building. Let's see, can we boost a little bit of exposure, please? Yes, we can. Okay, so this building was put up by ourselves. We didn't have any cranes or forklifts or JLG, what are the telehandlers? No telehandlers. And mostly because this is the Mueller value pack building, value kit, value building. I'm not sure, but it uses a little bit thinner beams, and it's C-channel beams instead of an I-beam. So every single component in here is liftable by one person. And obviously it just gains its strength when it gets all bolted together with a skin on it. But stuff like that beam is movable by one person, that beam that connects it is movable by one person. Even that beam is movable by one person. But what we did, and I'll come over here and try to show you what happened, was we made, as far back as I can be, we basically, okay, you can see it on the back arch. So that arch on the back was put together on the ground. We bolted all together on the ground. And remember, it's all bolt together. So just bolt together like that, bolts together like that, and then like that at the corner. So this is a no weld building as well. Some people are asking, if it's a weld or if it's all bolts or if it's all prefab. It's all pre-cut and pre-punched, so I didn't have to punch any holes. But basically, we bolted together that arch, and then we laid it flat on the ground. And then using a bunch of people and a tractor with a winch on it, We just slowly erected it, if that makes sense. It's laying flat. It goes brrrr, and we walked it upright basically with the tractor and the team. And then we just braced it while we put in the rafters up top. So once one arch went, you just build your second arch and then walk that one up too. So the second arch is laid down, it goes upright, and then you start bolting together the rafters up there. So those, in my mind, are called rafters. And then once you have two arches up, it starts to get stronger and stiffer. And this is really a building that can be built by a handful of people with no formal building experience. I tell you, I've never built anything bigger than a shed in my life, and the shed that I built was crap. So to be able to put together a building, a 30 by 40 foot, a 1,200 square foot building, 12-foot walls, 14-foot peaks, to be able to do that without any super specific knowledge is a big testament to how these Mueller kit buildings go together, how simple they are, and the advantage of having the value building, which is just the thinner C-channel beams, instead of the very heavy I-beams that you would need a crane or a telehandler for. If I was in a bigger building or I needed to be able to hang stuff from like the rafters, like hang stuff from the top or have a second level, then yeah, I could see the I-beam style building working. But for what I'm doing in here, it's just to skin. It doesn't have to be 40,000 pound I-beam rated. So this Mueller building, this value building, it just went together. When we worked on it, it went together really easily. We had a few setbacks just with weather and time and making time to come out here. But all in all, this Mueller building, it just bolts together. It's all hand tools. It's all movable, workable by a couple of people, and that can make a big difference when you're trying to do a budget shop build, because you don't have money to rent a telehandler, or you don't have money to pay a professional crew to come out for a week to erect everything. I apologize if this is getting rambly, but I do like sharing information like this. One fun portion, you see the X-beam, that's just 2-inch metal strapping. That 2-inch metal strapping made the biggest difference in how this whole thing went together. Basically, we erected our arches went up first, so we have that arch over there and that arch over there. Well, until those X-beams were strapped in, the walls were just, Davy Wavy over there. They were just floating in the breeze. We shot those straps in, and then this side was super sturdy. But what about that side, you say? Well, there was no straps for that side, which is by design, and I was told that it would, once you put the panels on, it would be plenty rigid. And I didn't want to basically put the panels on with the walls just leaned over. Like it was almost a parallelogram. Like the arches were leaned way over. So I just went to Lowe's / Home Depot / insert big box home improvement store here and got this either 3/8 or 1/2 inch, I think 3/8 steel cable and all the appropriate tensioning devices and such. And again, this is not professional advice. Good God, if you don't know what you're doing, please don't follow what I'm doing. I'm not an engineer. I shouldn't have to say that, but here I am anyways. So we use these tensioning devices, and we just made an X with our 3/8 steel rope, and then started adding a little bit of tension here and there. And that really, once we brought tension on that arch and that arch, it just immediately brought the whole building, from laid over, this is exaggeration, but laid over to perfectly upright. So that was huge. That's the only thing I wish they would have included. Other than that, I've got a couple of trim pieces, a couple of little things I'm going to do. But yeah, this is the shop. Very excited about it. I'm sure that was rambling. I'm sure we're on 15, 16, 17 minutes at this point, and I apologize. But I'm very excited to have a shop. I'm very excited to have the lift. The lift will be instrumental in some projects. Also, I know I have not introduced that project. I have not introduced that project yet. I plan on it. So maybe stay tuned for the next video and we'll look at that project, see what that is. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me. Thanks to everyone who was a part of putting the shop together. You guys are great. Couldn't have done it without you. See you next time.